Check one, two. Well, we're testing the studio setup again, designed specifically for YouTube, and it's been a while since I've been down here in the studio, so we're going to give this a shot. TikTok has not actually been sold to the US yet. There's the framework of a deal, and the president has signed an executive order, which basically doesn't actually make the deal. And this entire time, the last week or two that we've been talking about it, China hasn't officially said anything about it. And I'm suspicious that there may not, something's going to happen at the last minute. The valuation came in weird, and just everything that we've experienced with TikTok over the last year and a half or so, with the ban and then the extension and then the other extension and the rumors and the information that simply isn't correct. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do suspect is that if TikTok is actually sold to a US based interest, multiple US owners, most of them wealthier than can hardly be imagined, that TikTok will serve their purposes and not ours, and thus, again, the demise of the app. It definitely is not what it was 3 years ago. I think that myself, along with other creators, are all kind of thinking about what we're going to do on the other side of it. If the deal doesn't go through, then eventually I think the administration would let the ban go into effect. And I think if the deal goes through, that's not good for us either. I think that it's going to be subject to a lot more control and a lack of what we like to call free speech. It's already, I don't know. I'm skeptical and nervous, and I almost don't care anymore. And that sentiment is echoed, by the way, by a lot of people who comment anytime you see a video on TikTok about the TikTok deal. We're all ready to let it go. We're just done with it. But I am not done with the studying the assassination of JFK. There's a lot more for me to learn, a lot more that other people know that I don't know, and I discover something that has been known in the research critic community, and I it's like new to me, and I'm excited to bring it to you when I find it, because if there's one thing that I have seen on my channel in the last 2.5, 3 years, it's that many people believed the myth that was started in 1989, 1988 by a guy named Bill Moore. He wrote a book called Beyond the Pale Horse, and as far as I can tell, that's the origination of the driver did it theory, and people just got there and then stopped, and it demonstrates the power of suggestive placement, the power of suggestion in your mind. You would not have ever seen that before until somebody pointed it out to you and said, there it is. Yet nobody on the ground or in any of the cars saw that. Certainly, had that happened, I feel like somebody in the follow up car very close behind the limo would have possibly, there would have been evidence, including possibly more casualties if that had been the chase. But instead, that's not what happened. They drove to the hospital, and the driver then drove the ambulance with the hearse, or drove the ambulance with the casket in it to the Air Force One waiting at Love Field. Anyway, there's a tremendous amount of people out there that still think this way, and if I did nothing but debunk that myth for the next year and a half, I still wouldn't be done. But that's fine. I don't mind doing it. I kind of like doing it. It's kind of my niche. It's pretty particular. Anyway, this has been a test video for my YouTube channel, and I really would invite you to join me over there, because again, if something happens with this app, I'm not going to stop making videos. I have too much fun doing it. I'll keep going, and you can also find me on Skylight at this point. You can find me on Clapper. I will probably be on Instagram, although I am not sure about that one. Not a huge supporter of Meta. I don't do anything on Facebook anymore. I refuse. I definitely have left Twitter for good. The same thing that happened to Twitter when it was bought by an oligarch, the same thing that happened there will happen to this app when we get there. Anyway, this has been a YouTube test video, and I'm looking for sound and picture quality, and hopefully some of you will join me on my channel over there. Just for your reference, whoops, let me switch channels here. It's the same username on YouTube as it is here. JFK 62 years later, or at JFK 60 years, same as it is here on TikTok. And I encourage you to find me over there. All right.